Hi everybody, hello and welcome. How are you all? Are you well? Yeah? Good to see you all on this lovely Tuesday evening, and have you had a wonderful week? So welcome back to my channel, Tarot with Anne-Marie, where we are looking... Right, bear with me for 1 second. I am getting feedback like nothing on earth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly play this subscribe and then we'll jump straight in and I will adjust the fact that I am getting feedback. See you in a moment. Quickly play. Okay, so I'm still getting feedback, so you'll just have to bear with me for 1 second. There's obviously something playing in the background. So how about you say hello and tell me how your week's been, everybody? Yeah, I found out. It's one of those things where something is showing in the background. So, Temperance card. We did Temperance card the other day and learned quite a bit about this card. Oh, brilliant. You weren't hearing what I was hearing. That's wonderful. Good, good, good. Thank you for letting us know that, Tony. Really appreciate that. So, where are you listening from? Geography-wise, any people from the UK, the US, Italy? Quite often we have people from India, and of course, Ireland too. So, do let us know, and if I've not mentioned where you are, let us know. And we are really, really pleased that you're joining us for this fusion of Temperance and Minor cards. So this is where I teach you how to blend 2 cards together, okay? And if you want to come on and say hello to us, please feel free to type in comments. It's wonderful when you ask questions or tell me what's on your mind or even share a nugget with us. So here's a combination, Temperance and Ace of Swords. So what does this mean? A new way of thinking to do with moderating things, balancing things, maybe fusing things together, just like we are with these 2 tarot cards tonight. How does that work? Well, fusion. We want to be able to put the energy of the minor card into the major card. So the Ace of Swords represents new communication, brand new way of thinking. It's a double-edged sword. We know a lot about the fact that this is all to do with how the mind is working and our thoughts and communication with other people. So with Temperance, it's about modifying things. It's about keeping things in a way where we are using that balance inside ourselves to maybe hold back, to maybe actually look at things in a very different way, to maybe connect with other people and see things in a different footing. So, you know, Temperance card is all about being able to keep 1 foot on land and 1 foot in the water. So it's about being grounded and it's about using your emotions and tempering the 2, making sure that everything makes sense to you, making sure that everything is harnessed in a way where it brings out the best in you and that you are using the 2 things to create a 3rd. So this is to do with either communication that you're going to have with somebody, your communication, or your thoughts or their thoughts and their conversations. Good evening, Carla. Good evening. How are you? Are you well? Lovely to have you along. Thank you very much. How are you getting on with your courses, Carla? Is it starting to make sense? I do hope so. Okay, so let's have a look at another one. Okay, let's go for this one. Right, so Temperance and the 3 of Swords. Well, what this is talking about is using a past difficult situation, and the 3 of Swords, by the way, is never a prediction of what is the future. It's a card of the past, and people seem to forget that when they're reading. Yeah, it's a card of the past. So if it's a card of the past, we've got to turn around and look at what does that mean? Well, something has happened in the past that's not been very nice. You've only got to look at that picture to see 3 swords going through a heart, clouds, what looks like possible sort of rays of what? White rays? Is it sun? Is it lightning? Is it, you know, some sort of halo? All to do with how we're thinking, yeah? And the clouds represent the fact that we can't see everything, okay? So the 3 of Swords is a card of previous heartbreak. Blending that with Temperance means that you have got balance from that experience. Using that past experience, you are able to modify things, to bring things together, to fuse things, to create something different. It's a bit like going through a transformation in your mental state or in your communication with different people. And Temperance is a card of, it's a wonderful card. It's also about long distance travel. It's about higher learning. It's also very much about different cultures, languages. So maybe you're about to embark upon a journey where you are gathering information for the future, but you are basing it on what's happened in the past to modify and balance everything out. So, for example, if somebody was asking us the question, what's happening to me at work? It's like, look, experiences in the past have been difficult, have been challenging, you know, conversations have not been easy, you've had a difficult time, and it's challenged you, you know, and it's happened repeatedly. It's not just a one-off. So this is something that's been established over a long period of time. But what you've done is you've come out of that stronger, wiser, more grounded, more thoughtful, more emotionally intelligent about this, and perhaps been able to bring that together so that you've learned from that experience to be able to balance things and bring out your best side. And Temperance is about mixing, blending, socializing with other people. So this could refer to getting on with people better at work, being able to actually, you know, quite often you hear people when they're having a reading going, I've got to leave this job. I don't like the culture, okay? So Temperance is a card of culture, and it could mean just that, you know, that in the past you haven't liked the culture, but this time your way of thinking is you're forewarned, forearmed, as it were, but you're also very grounded about it. You're also emotionally very carefully testing those new waters. So what we could say here is, you know, from that previous experience, it's tempered you, it's made you stronger. If you temper something, you make it stronger. You are bringing like alchemy together, creating and mixing 2 parts to make a third. So from your last job and from the people there, the 2 things, you are now equipped to be able to move forwards with your thinking, with your communication, and with the style in which you're actually organizing yourself. So it's kind of saying, you know what, there are different experiences going on for you here at work. It's not about what happened before, because you are forewarned, forearmed, okay? Any questions? Anybody wanting to say hi? How are you all doing? Okay, we've got someone from Ask the Answer. We've got a couple in my GoPro Tarot course group, Tarot Talk, as it was called before. We've got somebody on Twitch watching, and we've got somebody on YouTube. Fantastic. I'm so sorry. It's very cold here tonight, and yeah, I think the air is causing a little bit of congestion. So on the screen at the moment you can see we've got the 4 of Swords. So 4 of Swords fused with Temperance. It's about maybe taking a bit of a break and decompressing from the culture, from the socializing, from the actual sort of aspect maybe of what you need to do. And Temperance suggests higher learning. So it might be, well, while you're having a break, maybe you need to actually go and look at something and look at whether or not you're able to maybe go on a course, maybe turn around and meet some new people from different backgrounds, anything linked with higher learning, anything linked with travel. So this person might be saying, what do you see for me at work? And it's like, you need to decompress, maybe you need a holiday. Temperance card is a big holiday card. So in order for us to do nothing, what better than a holiday? Yeah, I'm sure we'll put our hands up to that one. You know, get away from it all. And then you can focus on higher learning. Then you can focus on socializing, mixing and blending with other people. Okay. Here's one that I want to actually run through with you. Hi to all the people that are joining us at the moment. I want to go into something a little bit different. Okay. Right, okay, so what's happening for me at work? Okay, what have we got going on here? We have got somebody quite important coming in, somebody who is in the same emotional intelligence as you. Could be friendship, remember it's a work question, and we are not looking at a position in the spread of anything other than that person. So we're not looking at others, we're not looking at work. Even though they're asking about work, I've told you that that's the question. There is a position for work, but we are discussing if this was about the person themselves, how they are now, and physically what's going on right now. So we could look at the past, we could look at the future, we could look at spiritual advice, we could look at their finances, but we're not discussing that right now. We're discussing the position of the self. So what would we get? We'd say, right, okay, there's somebody around you that's going to help you. They are on the same emotional intelligence as you. They've got the same ethics and principles emotionally as you. This could be a beautiful friendship. It's very, very strong because of the Two of Cups. There is mutual attraction. Is it that of the romantic kind? Could be, but we are not looking at it in the position of relationships. There is a position for relationships, and we are not looking at it as in the influences of others. For example, if it was in the influences of others, I would say yes, probably is. Okay, so let's bring it back to them. So how's that going to help me at work? Well, I've got strong, grounded ideas. They are strong in themselves. It could be a Sagittarius. Where does that come from? Anybody? Anybody listening that would know why I'm saying that? No? Oh, come. Somebody might know. Yeah? I'm doing all the work. I like it when you actually, I don't care if you get it what you would call wrong, because you may have learned it and picked it up from another system. Therefore, it's not wrong. It's just that if we use one spread and we use one system, then you know that you've got your checklist, your blueprint for everything. If you're bringing things in left, right and centre, it could be confusing for you, but you can have a go and try and do it. Don't mind at all, you know, do what you need to do. It's absolutely fine. But for the sake of what we're doing here, Temperance is linked to Sagittarius as the Major Arcana card, okay? And the Minor Arcana card that links to Sagittarius as well is Page of Wands, okay? In the system that I teach and that I personally use and have used for the last 30 years. So there could be a strong bond. And they might say, well, I really like somebody. And it's like, okay, right. You might be able to now say, well, you know, this person looks to me as if they might be a fire sign. Where would you get that from? Sagittarius, number one. And number two, we've also got that Leo sort of symbol in the Two of Cups, yeah, representing Leo. It doesn't mean it's a Leo card, but you could look for the clues. A lot of communication going to be coming on here. Even though it's not the suit for communication, all the blues are talking about positive communication. Look at the colours in the card. Yellow. So it's confident, it's joyful, it's fun, it's mixed, it's making a lot of sense. Bear with me for a second, folks. It is cold here. I've got a radiator. Although I've got an inverter, as in to kick out heat, I can't put it on because it interferes with the microphone, and I've realised that I've got a fridge in here and it's probably buzzing. So my apologies for the sound tonight because I forgot to unplug it. Sorry, folks. Okay, might be able to do something about that when I play a short little thing where I have to talk for a minute and can disappear off the screen. So forgive me. Okay, right now, so an emotional bond, friendship, possibly even emotional attraction, physical attraction. Is it a man or a woman? We don't really know with tarot, you know. People say, oh, it's definitely a man, it's definitely a woman. It's definitely nothing. It's not a word you should be using, okay? We are there to actually give what the cards say, not what our interpretation is. Quite often when I read, people will say to me, I want to know what the cards are saying, but I also want to know, because I've known you long enough now to ask you this, what do you say? And I always say to them, which do you want first? And so usually they'll say, they're safe. They say, I want to know what you think, because I don't want the cards to influence your thinking. So if I really haven't got a clue, I will actually say, I'm sorry, I'm clueless about this. I'm just your interpreter decoding the cards for you. So terribly sorry, I don't have an opinion on that. Or I'm happy to actually share my own personal experience of something very similar. But the outcome, of course, is down to you, because you are the one, it's your life. These are very different sort of navigation obstacles that you will need to look at, rather than go with what I was doing. Sorry, I'm fidgeting tonight because it's cold and I'm trying to keep warm. Okay, so anybody saying hi, any questions? Don't forget you can come on as a guest. All right. We're not getting any comments here. I do know that Facebook is currently still working. I don't know how much longer we'll be able to actually stream out to the groups. I'm told it's April, so that's about another 4 weeks, I guess. Leap year, I think, this year. Is that right? Can somebody check that for me? I think it's leap year. Okay. What does that mean? 1 extra day. And of course, you know what that means. Females can propose. Okay. Let's say we're getting Temperance and the 3 of Cups, and our person having the reading is saying, please tell me about work, I want to know what's in store for me. You see this, and it's like, okay, there looks like there is a lot of joy, a lot of fun, a lot of celebrations coming up. You might be socializing a lot more, and it does feel as if it's merry. It feels like there's laughter, it feels like there's joy, it feels like you're joining in, and it feels like, you know, you are socializing, eating, drinking. Temperance is a card of eating and drinking and socializing. It's also a card that comes up, as in, it's something that I was taught and I found it to be very accurate in readings. Depends on where it is. This person's asking about work. So yes, it can mean links with different cultures, but it can also mean air travel, as we talked about, higher learning, and also things like people that are in the hotel trade or food and drink restaurants. You quite often see that. So, you know, you might be seeing things here where it's like, okay, you know what, if this came up in the position of their work, that's where I would say it. Okay. Oh, you're busy listening. That's absolutely fantastic. Thanks very much, Carla. Lovely to have you here, as always. So yes, we've got this this whole thing that would tell us could be related to sort of bed and breakfast, Airbnbs, hotels, hotel chains, small sort of holiday lets, timeshares, going abroad, going on holiday, eating, drinking, socializing, even social media. Social media, yeah, this can relate to social media because it's spending time with your knowledge of higher learning, of course, and with cultures and communities that are looking for something similar. They're grounded emotionally, they're chatting, they're quite positive, all that kind of thing. But the 3 of Cups is saying it's joy, it's celebration, it's happy. So really, really lovely one. Okay, I'm going to remind you that you can come on, and I'm going to put up the little link here, and in the meantime I'm going to scoot off and unplug that fridge in case it's buzzing. Okay. Okay, and in the meantime, I've got myself a top up of water. So, let's move this along just a little. Okay, let's go here instead. Ah, that's where we were. Sorry about that. This one. Okay, different one completely, isn't it? What have we got? Temperance, socializing, being disappointed at work, feeling that, you know, what was going on in the past was happy. You're missing it. You're actually in a place where you would much rather be with the old rather than the new crowd. So it's emotional. So this person is emotionally feeling that the social sort of interactions that's going on are not as great as they used to be, and they're missing that. And it's like, look, there's some great things going on there. That's why I've got those 2 cups standing there for you. But that person is so caught up in the past and how they've been feeling about missing old acquaintances, friendships, maybe even people that he really loved and cared about, you know. It's one of those things where that person is not quite ready to see what else is there. They will be, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but at some point they will be able to look at that. And the 5 of Cups fused with the Temperance card is telling us that. It's saying, look, your friendships, you're not learning in the same way. It's a bit like maybe when we go to school and we change class, or we change from being junior school to senior school, and now everybody goes to the same senior school, and it's like, oh gosh, I wish I was back there with my pals. They've gone off. They must be having a much nicer time than I am. I'm finding it really hard. I don't have any friends. They do, but they just can't see it yet. They're not ready to. And maybe they're probably feeling a little bit sort of bereft of the old friends, this kind of thing. Or they are just not ready. We can feel guilty, can't we, you know, for actually moving on. And that can be what this is about. But Temperance assures us that the person that's asking the question about work and maybe feeling a bit like I've described of changing schools, they've changed jobs and they're just not quite settled. How am I going to get on? How are things going to be for me? What's going to happen? And it's like, well, look, you know, you're going to meet different people, different backgrounds. And there's a lot of healing in this card as well. They're quite earthbound, which means they're reliable. You know, they are willing to test new things with you, which is marvellous. Nothing better than that. So there's a lot of good stuff going on with the 5 of Cups, if only our person is ready. But we cannot force it. There is a right time and there is most certainly a wrong time. So it's about that person being ready, emotionally ready. Thank you very much. Okay. If you want to come on as a guest, there is the link, and I can bring you up on camera. Sometimes we have Zoe, sometimes we have Victor. And what that does is it allows us to be able to chat with you. You can come up on video right next to me on the cards and tell us about your journey, or ask us and say, you know, what is it? You know, the next card that we're doing is the one, we're going in chronological order. So we are going to be doing the Devil, which is card 15. And that will be this Thursday. That's quite a big one. A lot of people go, that scares me. I can think that Victor's told me that. But let me tell you, when I was training and going to tarot school all those years ago in a classroom of 10 of us, every week there was somebody in the classroom that would put up their hand and actually say, I don't understand the Devil card. And, you know, every week that subject was allowed to take over the whole lesson. So there was times when I didn't want to actually go because it was like repetition, there wasn't that control going on in the classroom to say, we've done that, we're not talking about that tonight, I'm sorry, for the sake of everybody else, I've got to be fair to you, please, 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 will you actually allow me to continue with what I'm doing. So please don't miss Thursday when we talk about the devil. It's a card that actually makes people go, I really don't know what to say about that. It seems so negative. What do I do if it comes up in a reading? Thursday, we'll talk about what the card means. And Tuesday, I'll show you how to fuse it and the many, many different meanings. Using the method that I am showing you, if you look at it, okay, there are 56 minor cards. So every time a minor card is fused with Temperance card alone, you are getting 56 different combinations. Think about that. How about the fact that, not just that, but the fact that we are able to put that in a different position. So it might be about the person having the reading, which is what we're talking about. It might be about someone else. It might be about their obstacles, the outcome, the past, what's coming, the things that they can change in the future if they pay attention to something. Might be the basis of the problem. And so therefore, can you see how many different interpretations you're going to get based on the position, based on the suit, based on 56 different cards, and also learning to be able to look at your suit and be able to say, I'm talking about your feelings. I'm not talking about what you're going to do. So let's have a look at some cards that tell us what somebody might do. Okay. Right. How about this one? Okay, what's happening to me at work? This is lovely. You're creative. Yeah? You are creating things at work. Things are starting to happen. What you've invested is starting to pay off a little. Okay, it's budding. But there's still a gap. There's still something that you need to acquire to consolidate this. You're not there yet. And at work, that looks as if it's to do with mixing and blending with other people. So how are you going to get on? Well, a key part of temperance in a work question would probably be about mixing and blending with others, with the community at work, with the people. That might mean the bosses, that might mean the people that are your colleagues, that might mean another department, it might mean your underlings, you know. It's mixing and blending with everybody in order to be able to bring it together and cause something to happen. So it's telling us that you're doing okay. There's more to come. You're not there yet, but you are looking at wanting to expand, to create, to get on, and you're in the process of doing it. It's just not formed yet, but you're in the middle of it, you're at the beginning of it, and there are other people connected with this. So this would also tell us this is somebody that's actually working with other people, okay? A bit like the Three of Pentacles. Or, you know, it could be, people say, oh, does that mean they're not self-employed? Not particularly, okay? Because there's nothing to suggest self-employed in this pair. But what it's saying is you're working with other people. So it might be, Three of Pentacles is definitely working with other people in a group or corporate or in some way, shall I say, like schools, universities, banks, those big old sort of organisations that you're paid, you're on a salary by someone. We'll look at that in a moment. Okay, so this one. All right. So, how am I getting on at work and what's going to happen? All right. There's been conflict, there's been battles, and it really has knocked you sideways. And there is something physical in this. Doesn't mean there's been fighting, could be. But it's more to do with the, what I mean by fighting is assault or anything like that. It could be. But we've got to tread carefully. What it implies is the actions of you and other people with your opponents are not going smoothly right now. Based on that interaction with other people, you're not getting on with people from different backgrounds, from different cultures. It's not as friendly as it could be. It's actually hindering your development. So this card is working against the Temperance card here. So you're not actually going forwards in your growth. You're not expanding your knowledge. You're not fusing things. You're not combining things yet. Yet is the key word. Okay, so it's a bit like saying, well, you know, come on, it's been difficult. You've been through the mill, it's probably them, but you know what? You can't change them. But what you can do is take accountability and look at things from a different viewpoint, and don't actually let it cloud everything you're doing. There are ways to navigate this and get a victory. Yeah, maybe it's like, well, you know what, I always feel that they're listening to somebody else. I always feel that I've got to, they've got their favourites. And it's like, okay, well, you need to study a little. Maybe it's about studying how to better converse. I'm not saying join the bullies, if that's what it is, because 5 of Wands can be seen as mock physical battles where it feels, you know, very hard for us in the actions of what others are doing. It feels as if it's harming us, and it probably, in their actions, they've done something. But this is also in the position of our person. So there's some accountability got to be taken into account that it's fallen in that position. So it's like, it's possible you've rubbed them up the wrong way and now they're not going to drop it. We've all put our foot in it, haven't we? And created, you know, a mess in the kitchen. And yeah, it happens. I would actually say that you would need to say to this person, look, the mock battles are about, it's part of your growth, you know, you've got to kind of pour some balm onto this, and you've got to try and find ways of working so you get the best outcome. You know, what's been happening? How have people been treating you? How did it start like that? And it could be something really simple as not addressing the culture in a certain way. You know, maybe complaining that you've been snapped at. Well, certain cultures can sound as if they are complaining or shouting or giving orders or speaking to you in a way that you don't like. Or it could be that you're feeling excluded and that they're sniggering or something like that. So it depends on what's going on. And this is where you would need to perhaps turn around and say, tell me what's been happening. And people say, oh, you're not supposed to be doing that. Why not? It's their reading. You're actually trying to clarify what you've picked up and say to them, look, this is a difficult time. You know, how do you feel about that? No? The other cards in the positions would tell us how this is going to be. This might go right back down into something where they have to start from scratch somewhere else and leave, or we might see that this person has a victory over this. Sometimes people can actually fall out, and if you're able to navigate and say to them, look, I'm aware that things are not right, we all need to get on, you know, what can I do? And I seem to have upset you in some way, what can I do to try and solve it? I will actually turn around and work with you and go, well, I never thought you had it in you. Perhaps I misjudged you. It was, you know, you said something and I felt it was insensitive and, you know, we took offence. These kind of things. Once you actually, if you don't gently ask, you know, I mean, don't go in there if you are in a place where you feel uncomfortable. Absolutely not. But it's the kind of thing that you'd be asking. And don't feel that you can't ask questions. You really can. You are not there, as I say, to actually show them your psychic sort of abilities of reading their mind, or magic tricks, or, you know, psychic things that cause you to pull out rabbits from hats or something ridiculous. This is what I'd hope to see after that card, 6 of Wands. There's a victory now. It's turned around. You know, sometimes we are the scapegoat. Sometimes we do actually want to blame others for our predicament. But sometimes we've also got to look at ourselves. Sometimes people are too much looking at themselves and going, gosh, what did I do? And saying sorry. And it's like, that's the problem. We're always kind of saying sorry. Who knows? It's this is where sometimes it is important to talk to your client. Okay, right. Let's have a quick look at what we've got on the website for you. It's a birth chart, and it's a natal chart where you are able for free to go in and type in your date of birth and find out more about you. Because the more we actually know astrologically, i.e. Temperance is Sagittarius, but there's 22 major cards to learn about the planets or the astrological signs, and there are the suits to learn, what their energy is, how they affect you, and the court cards, of course. And court cards are also astrologically associated. So if you know a little about yourself and find that, you know, you've got a sun sign, for example, it's Pisces, happy birthday to all Pisceans. We went into Pisces yesterday. If you've got a birthday this week, many happy returns. But you may actually have your moon in Libra, you may have your ascendant in Virgo, and so on, which means you are very different facets of your personality will come out that will help you understand you. If you study you or someone you like, it's going to help you with your tarot. I can't stress that enough. And that's why I wanted to put it on there for you. It's not just, oh, well, let's do astrology now. It's like, there's so much astrology that will help you that are just attached to the cards. So if you know what a Piscean is like, if you know what a Sagittarius is like, if you know, or how Aries behaves, you know about the planet Mars, you know about the planet Venus, it will help you, and you will be able to put it together. I saw something on the web yesterday, I don't know where I was, it just comes up sometimes, and somebody was asking a question about tarot, and they were saying, I've got the Hierophant card and it's come up with someone else, and I don't understand that, because, you know, that person's not a Taurian. And straight away it was like, well, actually it's like, I asked the question, who's going to help me? And I got the Hierophant. Well, that's a great one, but most importantly, it would probably be that because the Hierophant is connected to Taurus, and we've also got the planet Mercury there as well. We've got lots and lots of different things telling us that there's communication. So there's so much that will help you. So let's have a look at our birth chart. Landed with 2 Sagittarius cards. Okay. I've got 56 in this PDF, as in for you. It takes hours and hours to make sure that they are all up on the screen, so that I'm not fumbling and holding up cards. I really can't do that anymore these days. And I just trying to get the focus on the camera doesn't work. So I hope that you like the way that I'm presenting it, and it works for you, because it works for me. So 2 cards of Sagittarius, Page of Wands. What's happening for me at work? Well, this is all about higher learning, and this is about communication with others from that higher learning, and probably from different cultures, probably international travel, worldwide for you, and maybe you are speaking to somebody who's abroad. This is definitely about communication. Page of Wands is somebody that's got something to say, and they're adventurous. So it's saying you are keen, you are ambitious, you are capable, you're a great communicator, you're going to do really well at work. And in the culture that you're in, the development of that is phenomenal. Okay, you've got 1 foot firmly grounded in who you are as a person, and you've got that emotional sort of sensitivity and empathy. Oh right, I did that the other day. Gosh, that particular sign it's 2 things. It's an alchemy sign, and it is the symbol for earth. Okay, so Temperance card is actually Archangel Michael, and we know that because we've got that symbol that you can see in the forehead there, which tells us this is Archangel Michael. Some people report it as Raphael. It doesn't matter to your reading, but it's nice for you to actually have gathered your facts so that you can understand who you are and what you are. And it's a fabulous question. Octavian, is that how you say it? I'm so sorry if I've mispronounced it. You're just tuning in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But yeah, inside the front of her robe, that is an earth sign. It's full of symbols, alchemy, and temperance is alchemy. It's and that's why we can see our figure being able to pour from one goblet to another, which is really telling us that we are in a position of being able to temper something. When we combine something, we create something else. It's like cooking. You know, you put I don't know, you put an egg and a little bit of butter and a little bit of milk, and you put it in a pan, and you've changed it. Okay, so it's creating something from more than one thing, bringing something together. In temperance, it usually is a case of it's bringing balance, it's bringing more positivity. But yes, that's an absolutely brilliant question. You can go back YouTube, Tarot with Anne-Marie. I did that on Thursday. So what I tend to do, Octavian, if I'm saying that correctly, is I teach one card on Thursdays, and I go into great detail about all the symbology, the colours, the number. So you've got all of the facts, and none of this what I think or whatever, it's just the facts. It's teaching you what that card is. Perhaps far more than you will ever want or need, but you know what? If you've got it all in your toolkit, you can pull it out and go, oh gosh, I never used that before, but there was something that was said and it means that. Okay, and then here on Tuesdays, I go back over the card that I gave the tutorial on, and I welcome questions on both Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm really, really keen for people to come in and ask questions. Passionate Saji comes in, Victor comes in, Zoe comes in from time to time. It's a difficult time in the countries they're living in. The winter's quite harsh at the moment, and I know that they're challenged with their health at the moment. Just common colds and things like that can make you feel rough, so there's a few people missing. And I don't know where Sherry is. Sherry, if you're watching or you're listening, how are you, my darling? I haven't seen you for a couple of weeks, just wanting to know you're okay. Octavian, you're very, very welcome. Another thing I would actually say is it's full of symbology. We've got the fire sort of there represented by the crown and the sun, if you look at that, in the background there above the mountains. We've got the earthiness of the fact that our angel is standing on the earth and also in the water. There is the pouring of the water there going on. There is the sign of the sun, as in the alchemy sign again, the sun in the third eye there. We've got the air in the background there. There's all sorts of different things going on in this card. So it means the bringing together, the combining of the physical, intellectual, emotional and the spiritual, and being grounded enough to be able to say, whoa, not keep a lid on your emotions, but keep it together, use it in your favour. And Page of Wands, fusing that card with the Temperance card is telling us Sagittarius and Sagittarius together. This is somebody that's going places. They're ambitious. They are going to get there. Page of Wands is telling us that they're right at the beginning of their journey. And in the Temperance card, I would fuse that now into the Court card. So I change it slightly. You can do what you want, but if it was a person, I'd say there's a Sagittarius around you. You're asking about work. I feel that you're in communication with them. I feel that they're very capable. They are probably one of your underlings, but they're going to teach you something. You're going to work with them. They're friendly. It's sociable. It's a healing event for you. You've got so much going on here that will really work in your favour. And being a page, just nothing to do with their age. It's to do with where they are in their journey on this particular thing. So, you know, if I was going out and riding a motorbike, which, no, I've never done, bicycles, tricycle, quad bike, I'm on my quad bike every day, but a motorbike, no, I would be a page of ones in action, trying to get to grips with how to deal with riding a motorbike, okay? And yet, I'm a trained ADI, which means I'm an approved driving instructor, advanced driver. Therefore, that would kind of say to you, well, you know, if it was the chariot, which represents on-road travel, and we'll say it's got 4 wheels, that, you know, I'd probably come up as a king or a queen, which is, I've got a lot of experience, okay? You are welcome. Please do join us, Octavian, if you've kind of enjoyed the background information of all of this. And I go into a lot of detail because I teach this. That's what I've been doing for 30 years. I've done so many things with tarot, and please do feel free. I'm here to support you. I used to support 250 readers on the platform that I created back in 2007. I must, yesterday I was doing something, I found a magazine with articles that we'd written, and free books giving away, events that we'd done. I'll bring that along. It's just that I am redoing something on my courses, talking about which, here we go. Sorry, my microphone wasn't on. His website, and here is the Minor Arcana courses, and there you go. This is how you can go on. It's a video course. Once you're in there, it's on my website. You have to go into the website, but you can watch it anytime you like, over and over and over. I know Passionate Saji asked me, gosh, once I've watched it, can I watch it again? Of course you can. Go back to it as many times as you like. I've even done a course separately on the court cards. I separated them because I know that people find them difficult. There is the advanced course, which is about how to do the spread that I use and the method. There is intermediate, there is the Minor Arcana, all of the 4 suits. So whichever you want to study first. So you can do it in any order that you want to. Whatever you feel you would like to do. And you have to do, if you've got a good grasp of tarot, as in perhaps the intermediate and advanced, but if you feel that you want more information, then I would definitely suggest that, you know, you can pick one of the courses if you feel there's a weakness maybe with the court cards. And people say, oh, I don't use them. Ah, that's such a shame, really, because it tells you so much, as you can see. Let's use another court card. All right, so again, Knight of Wands. So what's happened to this person at work? They're saying, what's going to happen to me? Well, quite simply, you are going places, you are making things happen, you are still in development, and this is you, and you are somebody that is growing and growing. There is a Leo energy there with the Knight of Wands. People see you as playful, so you're getting on with people, you are learning a lot, you are developing, you are very grounded, you're sociable, people like you, and you're achieving great things. So a lot of great stuff going on. Question of work. One's always brilliant when it comes to that kind of thing. Let's move it to another suit. Okay, what's going to happen to me at work? And we've got Temperance card, this time Ace of Pentacles. Okay, new opportunity coming your way, materializing. So the difference here is the Ace of Swords earlier on was saying, oh, you've got some new ideas. That doesn't mean they're getting a promotion. Ace of Pentacles doesn't say anything about promotion. 6 of Wands would. Okay, I forgot to mention that. Sorry, by the way. I was distracted by lots of bits and pieces, watching the comments coming and going. Hi, Guz, how you doing? Oh, don't worry, not at all. You can watch it on the replay, everybody. Don't forget that. The difference is when you are using this method, you are able to give really in-depth, nuanced answers to the questions that people have. And I have pitched this the way that I wanted it to be because of the platform I used to run, where readers would say, I've been reading for years, but I really struggle when someone asks me this or this or this. And I say, okay, how many cards are you using? And they go, 3. And I go, what? You are trying to get it from that. And they go, oh, I use my intuition. I don't like to do this. And it's like, there is no... If you want to continue doing that and continue feeling like that, you're probably going to get the same results. But if you actually want to use a system and you want to use a blueprint of how to read the cards, just like you would, think of it like this. When you learn the alphabet, you start by putting things together. And you learn how to quote the alphabet, you learn how to write it and sound it, and you then learn to spell very tiny words and write them. And then you build up, again keeping it small, the cat sat on the mat. Keep it really simple, don't you, to begin with. And then before you know it, you're writing a little story. And before you know it, essays. And I go on. You know the rest, okay? So if you look at it as in with tarot, this is building blocks all the time for you to get there. So if you know a little bit about tarot, that's fine. You might not know all of it, and it might feel, well, I was told this, and that's fine. But you don't know that the card is linked to Sagittarius, you didn't know that it meant anything about long distance travel, you didn't know it meant about international travel, you didn't know it was a holiday card, you didn't know it's a healing card, you didn't know it's social media, then it would be worth your while to maybe go on and do the Minor Arcana course. As in, we're not here to turn around and do anything other than share with you that if you want to go off and have it as a hobby where you really enjoy giving a very good tarot reading to somebody, yourself, and people say, can I use this method myself? Because you know what, I can't read for myself. By using pairs and the positions in the intermediate and even more positions in advanced, you will be able to read for yourself because you've got the blueprint. You look it up and you go, right, how's it work? What's going on for me? Okay, this is what I've got. And let's say this came up in your position for yourself. It's like, how am I getting on? What's going to be happening? It's like, okay, you know, you're going to start making money from this. Things are actually starting to happen here. You know, you're appealing to a general community. It's going out far and wide. You're very balanced with what you're doing. You're actually being received in a really good way. And physically, intellectually, emotionally and spiritually, everything's going well for you. How do we know that? Because the Temperance card is all about modifying and bringing all of the elements together to temper it. So we evolve, we create from who we are. And it's a bit like a page. A page grows up from going, oh, I'm practicing on my motorbike. Gosh, you know, now I can do this and now I can do that. And got it, you know. Now I've actually been out there, I've got some experience. That's like the Knight of Wands. And then it's like, I love it so much. I'm doing, you know, some really serious sort of stuff for work using my motorbike. I'm being paid to actually ride my motorbike or teach. It's in some way so important that you're becoming an authority with the motorbike. They're your queens and your kings. All right, so do hope that that helps. Nobody's really actually been asking questions recently. I know that you all sit there going, I'm listening. But let me just say, I am actually, I try to edit it so that it looks like it's not just a live that's been loaded up and recorded. I try and just trim out the bits so that you can go straight and get what you want, rather than when we're live and we welcome you and we're a community and I get to know you and you get to know me and you get to know what I do and how I can help you, and I get to know about you and what kind of things you might like to sort of discuss, and if it's tarot or astrology or crystals or methods or techniques, or you get stuck with something, don't be shy. You know, I'm really happy to actually do that, because I've done it in the past, and if I can help you, I will. And if I don't have the answer, I will not fob you off. I will actually go and say to you, gosh, I don't have the answer to that, but I'm going to go and find out from something or someone that does, and I'll get back to you. So leave it with me. All right. So, and it's like anything. If this helps you, and some people say, oh, I don't use spreads, I just pull a card. Well, that's good. But you're not going to get a career out of doing that. And I have set this up so that people who want to do their spiritual work can use tarot. Even if you actually want to turn around and say, gosh, I really want to do a lot of Reiki, you'll probably find that people won't phone you for that, but they will book with you in person. But it's always nice to actually have another string to your bow, isn't it? So if you're looking for something to fuse two things that you do together, I've trained in mediumship and the runes and crystals and gosh, all sorts of things, too many to mention, aromatherapy, bark flower remedies, angel cards, and it goes on and on and on. But nothing gave me what tarot gives me. I like all of those, but then I kind of go, do I really want to get an angel card? There's not enough on it for me. And if, somebody wants a reading, just pulling out angel cards, they're usually short readings. That's all I'm going to say. So you may not be able to make an income from that, is what I'm telling you. And I know, because we used to actually interview the people on the platform to come in, and they go, right, finished. And it's like, that's 5 minutes. We do 20-minute readings, half-hour readings, 1-hour readings. Oh, I don't know what to do now. Well, unless you actually come up with something, we cannot actually bring you on. That was very nice enough. They will want more. Oh, can't I just do 2-3-minute readings? How are you going to be able to pay your bills on that? Oh, well, I only want to do it part-time. Fine, but we don't offer that. Some people do. You can do it on social media like that. So that's not really a profession. That's kind of like, your paid hobby. Whatever you want to do, okay? But if you want to be able to do your spiritual work and leave the 9 to 5, go and have a look at the courses, because they're geared up on giving you what you need to be a professional paid reader. Okay? So I'm going to say, we've got lots of other bits and pieces. I'm going to say bye-bye, and thank you for watching. Thank you for coming to the channel. Please do subscribe. Make sure that you share this with anyone that would appreciate knowing this would help them, such as this method, this tutorial. And if you've missed anything, it will be put up in a recording within the next day or two. It takes a bit of time for me to edit it, so it's a bit different. So thank you for your time, and do put your comments up there and ask if there's anything I can help you with. I'm going to play you out. Here's a little bit about the courses, and I'll see you on Thursday. The Devil card, card number 15. Bye.